Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is my behind the scenes of my daily boot up, how I edit it in under 15 minutes, and if you like what you see, do subscribe here. Editing. I use FCPX for editing, that's the Apple software. I like it for short form editing, it's really good. I've already shot, if you've seen my story on Instagram today, you'll have seen that I've already shot some of my behind the scenes. Okay, I'm doing a behind the scenes of my daily boot up, and to prove that it's all real, this is my iPad, that's what I record it on with my Rode video mic there, Elgato Light Air, and this is my computer. If you watch that, you can see it actually does boot up. It's off at the moment, although my Stream Deck is on because it's powered by the monitor, but the computer is off, I promise. Okay, here we go, time to record the daily boot up. But I'm now going to take you through the edit process, because when you're doing things like this every day, you have to do it really pretty smart and pretty quick, otherwise you never get any work done. So let's go over to my picture-in-picture. I've put my face up here so that it's as out the way as I can possibly be, and I have already started just because I wanted to get a little bit of the technical stuff done out the way. But let me take you through what I've done up until now. Here's episode 45. So episode 45 is up here, and I just duplicate it. I do this and do duplicate project. So now I have my beginnings of my episode 46 up here. This is yesterday's episode. Okay, you can see it all there. And then this up here is my footage already imported for today's episode. This is actually shot on my iPad, and this was shot on my iPhone, which is the over-shoulder shot. And I have synchronized the two on my timeline down here, and you'll see why I do it like this in a minute, why I've got yesterday's here and this is today's. I'll just turn the speaker down a bit, otherwise that's going to drive us all around the twist, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. Now the first thing I want to point out is the timeline. As you can see, the daily boot is one take. There is no cheating at all. And if you can see the beginning here, that is me actually turning on my computer. And you can see the screen is actually in shot here. And at the end, and we'll highlight that when we get to the end, you'll see that it goes, we don't see the progress bar, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, someone's just got in the shower. Very good. You don't see the progress bar, but you do see the final reveal. So I've used it a couple of times. As you can see, there's no edits in the central timeline, which is my daily boot up, which nearly always lasts for about a minute. Okay, but at the end, you can see here, that's where I'm going to finish. This is my computer almost booted up. It always does a little double fade. And then there, the end of the video, and it's actually booted up. So my daily boot up takes as long as it takes, which is the whole point for my computer to boot up. Let me do that in full frame. There is no cheating. I do it as one take. Whatever comes out, comes out. Okay, back to the edit. Very good. So, but you see, I already have all the constituent parts here. So all I need to do is do a option drag, and that will duplicate that and stick it on the end here. I needn't even duplicate it, it's just a habit I've got into with doing all of that kind of stuff. And then this is the progress bar, so you'll always see that there is a red bar. Can you see it there? Let me just go. This red bar, it's there if you want to see it, and it completes at the top like the Lad Bible one when the time is up. You can see it progressing around now, and then when it gets up there is when it finishes. Then we get onto some sound effects. Obviously there's the finishing sound effect here, and I will put that on the end there so that that denotes the end. Boing. So that's the Mac end boing. But then of course we need the beginning one, and so that's here, and I normally sight that around about here. Click. Okay, there we go. And that's lovely. And then I shall move the progress bar so that it starts at the beginning of, and I'm a bit of a stickler for getting it right. So you can see there, that's when the noise starts. So that's when the progress bar starts. Boof, like that. Very good. Okay, then I have my opening. As you can see, my opening's here. So I'm just going to move that underneath the progress bar, but on top of the clip, which is my over shoulder shot. Okay, and then I have obviously got to change this. These are what's said on the graphics. It says episode 45. Well, we know it's episode 46. This isn't the free episode. It's the BTS, behind the scenes episode. Make sure I've spelled episode right. As some of you know, I'm dyslexic, so I do just have to quietly check that everything's okay, and it isn't always right even when it leaves me. So there we have it. That's that part of it done. Then I shall move the music. Again, usually there's a little bit, and I can just make my timeline a little bit bigger here. So I know this is the dip when it goes, the computer goes on. So I just want the music to last for as long as that. Let's get this bit of music in as well. And I've timed it out. As you see, I haven't option dragged it. I've just dragged it across. I've done that already. Done that a bit wrong. I haven't done one of these before. There we go. That's better. Okay, and the music should all time out. So let's just listen to that.
Time for daily boot up. Let's turn on my computer.
That music fills in that hole.
So, I'm actually doing a behind the scenes of my daily boot.
There we go, and then it comes back in there. Seems a bit louder today than...
I'm actually doing a behind the scenes of my daily boot up today, and I'm going to...
Okay.
Forbidden America.
Okay, I'm just going to turn up the track, and because there's no edits in it, I'll turn it up here, and it turns up all the way through.
But first, I watched rather disturbingly...
There we go. Okay, that's all good. Okay, then I'm going to go through, and I know that I mention Louis Theroux.
But first, I watched rather disturbingly Louis...
There we go. So there's Louis Theroux. So I've already got a picture of him up here because I did my thumbnail. And so I'm going to drag Louis Theroux into there, and then I'm going to move him down a little bit because I normally put these, I make it a little bit smaller in scale. There we go. And then I put it kind of on my chest like that. Marvelous. And then I want it to reveal itself. So I go over up here to my titles, and then I have a wonderful application called CineFlare Object Animation. And there we have it. And these are the in animations, and I'm going to do a simple pop at the beginning. Let's see if I've got it in the right place.
Louis Theroux's Forbidden America, the first episode last night, about the alt-right.
Okay, and we'll have it go out there, and then the orange ones underneath, I look for the corresponding one, pop. That's the effect of the moment, and as you can see, because they're not compound clips, it's actually affecting everything that's underneath, and obviously we don't want that. So I have to make that into a compound clip, so I'll click on that, then I'll right click on that, new compound clip. I never bother renaming them at this point, it's just... I don't need that. And then boing, comes out of my neck somewhere.
About the alt-right.
And back it goes.
It was worried. I'm going to do a full-length review of that later.
Okay, that's all good. And then I want to make sure people know that so here I go to probably a set of reveals that I've got that is called where is it? YouTuber 3. And actually, I've got one here. This is why I do it like this. Because here, I've got a call to action. And I can just move that here. And I can put my subscribe. I think I'll just put it, not in there, but in between the two reverse angles. Make it a bit smaller. Just play that through to see if it works timing-wise. Go.
So, I'm actually doing a behind the scenes of my daily boot up today.
No, it doesn't work there, so I'll put it after there and make it a bit longer again.
I'm going to post a little video about how I make
it comes up when I'm talking about the subscribe.
Quickly, especially.
So that's this video. And then when I post that to my Instagram story, I can put up a link to my channel or indeed the video as well. And it will appear in the end as well. Now, I don't think there's many other effects that I want to put in here. Quickly play through. I'm actually doing a behind the scenes of my daily boot up today, and I'm going to post a little video about how I make a daily boot up and how I do it nice and quickly, especially in the editing process. But first, I watched rather disturbingly Louis Theroux's Forbidden America, the first episode last night, about the alt-right, and it was worried. I'm going to do a full-length review of that later, because I think it warrants it, because this is YouTube and this is social media, and the alt-right or the right-wing movement is also on social media, worryingly. And I'm also going to do a long promised review of the movie Don't Look Up. Okay, so I want something in there that mentions Don't Look Up. Now, I think I've got something, so I'm going to go over to Daily Boot Up Stills and just have a look through here and see if I've actually got something from Don't Look Up. It would have been from a while ago, actually. Have you seen Don't Look Up? It's a great movie. I really like it. Tourist, Christmas. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Don't Look Up. From the opening. I loved the opening titles as well. I thought they were really, or the whole font thing throughout. It was brilliant. So let's see where I start talking about that. Review of the movie. There we go. I can see the audio hooking in there. The movie Don't Look Up, because I've been watching it. I've watched it about 3 times now, and okay, and I'm just going to shorten this cutaway so that excuse me, because I've been watching it. I've watched it about 3 times now, and there we are. I just cut off because excuse me, my time ran out. Okay, so we'll just give this the same treatment. Or I might do something different here. Let's have a look. So I go back to my titles. I've done YouTuber 3. I have got Cineflare Object Animation. I could do a leap forward. I don't really like that. A roll. The Jello. Annoying. Or float. No, that's a bit too... The earthquake kind of makes sense given what Don't Look Up is about. So I think I will put that in like that. Oh dear, I have got a tickly cough today. I'll just have a quick drink of tea. Sorry about that. And then the earthquake out. There we go, and I can change the direction so it goes out the same way it came in. There, like that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Put it into a compound clip. New compound clip, and click OK. Done. Let's see what that looks like. Now, I've done this bit differently. In it comes. Watching it, I've watched it about 3 times now. Oh, it doesn't want to go out. Ah, there we go. Silly Billy. It's because that's there. Don't Look Up, because I've been watching it. I've watched it about 3 times now, and okay, I'm just going to move that down slightly and extend that so you get to see that flash up there. About 3 times now. Okay, now I want an arrow, so I've got M arrows here. And I can choose a nice big arrow that animates, something that really takes people's notice. So, no, they're all a bit too snazzy. I quite like things that are a little bit different, although I don't know how much I can change that, because what I want to do is draw attention to the fact that the computer actually is going off. Maybe if I move that and then rotate it like that. Okay, there we go. And I have my brand colors on my palette already, so I can do that in a nice orange. Yep, that clashes with the red nicely. So there we have it. So that draws attention to the fact 3 times now, and my computer does in fact go off. And I think I only want it to animate in.
I've watched it about 3 times now. And
yep. And then I'm going to write a text graphic that is going to say, and I always just tend to do those really simply, so that build in and out, so there's no complication there. I don't think I need I think it almost just needs something still. So I'm just going to put that up there for the moment, and then I'm going to write up here, and I'm going to write booted up. Take that off there. Put that up there, and then I'm going to, don't need for any line spacing, position. So we're going to move it up a little bit. That's the Y. I'm then going to rotate it. Okay, so it says booted up. I'll just make it a little bit there. Actually, I just need to take it out of the light. Okay, so that's fine.
I've watched it about 3 times now. And
okay, and I don't think there's any need for any kind of fancy reveal or anything like that. Otherwise, it'll just look there. Oh, and the one thing, of course, I do need to do is that booted up. I want to move down in the frame so that it's not covering up my face, and then I can make it smaller. And because I made it a compound clip, it's easier to do that, and it'll hold its relative position. So if it's still out of frame there, yeah.
Don't look up.
Great.
Because I've been watching it. I've watched it about 3.
Okay, and then I'm actually going to move it over slightly just for ease, so that that's up against the frame there. So it's kind of comes out. You can't see it coming out of its space, and then it's gone. Okay, good.
Don't look up.
And there we have it.
Because I've been watching it. I've watched it about 3 times now.
And then this end board just has that on. So all I have to do now is delete yesterday's, which is where I've got all my effects from. The whole process should have taken me, it's taken me 18 minutes, which is because I'm yakking away and not concentrating entirely. Normally I try and make sure that it takes 15 to do a daily boot up.
Turn on my computer.
Sometimes they can get a bit more involved, or if I've got a bit more time, I can play around with the graphics a bit more, but that's all good. So I am now going to press File, and I'm going to export to YouTube and Facebook. Nothing much to do there. Next. And episode 46, and I'm going to call that BTS episode 46. Save. That's now happening. I'm then going to go full frame here and say, there you have it. That is how I do a daily boot up. And I hope that was reasonably insightful. And I have done it in 19 minutes, 18 seconds. Given that I had a couple of false starts, I think I'm quite close to my 15 minutes. All right. There might be more of these in the future, editing tips and tricks, but that's just a behind the scenes of the daily boot up. Thanks a lot. Bye. Oh, and subscribe. Subscribe if you like this.